Today is the day we get rid of the last of the old flooring in here that's nearly half a century old. It's a concrete base which is not in bad condition, surprisingly, considering the condition of everything above it that's been collecting stains for over, well, nearly 50 years. Okay, there's the plywood 3/4 inch that was laid down on top of the concrete, and it's bolted in. It's my desk. And this is the carpet that my grandfather had put in, which at one time covered the steps as well. This used to be the back door to the backyard when I was a kid, and I have many pictures of me standing there with my grandmother and my mother and sitting on the steps. And then my grandfather put in one, kind of a sunroom, and it was kind of small because, as you see over here, maybe you don't. Well, maybe we'll try this side. Over here, you can see this crack. And that crack is a second slab that was put on. It's the same distance from the house out to the yard, but my grandfather put a new one up and had the other one taken down on the same slab, but extended it to the side by another 5 feet on each side. So originally, it all had this beautiful 1970s wall paneling. We've replaced the ceiling here with beautiful acoustic tiles, which are actually a lot better than the clear plastic ones, through which you could see the names John's Manville for the insulation that was up there on the backing of it every single night as you went to sleep. John's Manville, John's Manville. Well, in any event, we got rid of almost all that paneling because, as you see over here, Teresa has completely reframed things. That used to be paneling on the inside, then a cardboard honeycomb, and on the outside pressboard. It was disgusting. It was horrible. It was filled with crickets, literally hundreds and hundreds of crickets. We had to turn the water dishes upside down that we kept in storage for the cat, or they would jump inside and die because they couldn't climb out again. This corner was particularly nasty. It had black widows, it had crickets, and it was melting on the outside. Just like you see cryptocrystalline stuff like glass after a while gets ripply because it actually melts in time. Well, the outside pressboard had melted, it was all bulged out, and this had a big gap of daylight in there about 2 inches wide that I had to fill in with packing tape, and we lived that way for quite a while. Why? I don't know. But anyway, we finally got the motivation to do this, and Teresa went through, and every one of these pieces, oh, there's Teresa.
Hi.
Every one of these pieces is custom cut to fit exactly the size and shape, and it gave it much more structural support because before, all we had was the pressboard and these metal pieces you see right there, the dark ones. That's all that held it up. Then we got these airplanes. Anyway, so over here, we've now put in insulation, and Teresa has added these beautiful pine boards, the first of which were scavenged from a storage shelf that she had built many years ago. It's been used for many things. And some of these boards over here on the wall were scavenged from originally a squirrel cage we made when we rescued a squirrel many years ago. We now have the 4th generation from that squirrel still coming to get nuts. So its legacy lives on, though it has sadly passed away some time ago in the wild. I don't know what happened. We'll never know. That's life. Okay, anyway, so here is the nice work that she did with the stuff that used to be the squirrel cage that later became our stand for our air conditioner, and then was scavenged from that and remade into, well, oh, one last thing. You're going to like this. Over here on this side, there's a lot of boards over here that were actually little tiny pieces and too short and too thin and all kinds of stuff, and she glued them together using, wait for it, biscuits. That's the term for the little pieces of wood that are inserts that go on one side, and then you glue them in, and then you glue the outside of them and stick them into a slot on the other side, put them together with clamps, and they end up being just as strong, if not stronger, than the original, and we get another glorious airplane, because that's the way we live, for God's sake. We love it! Love it! All right, so back to brass tacks. There are no more brass tacks. We've taken them all up. But what Teresa did was she wanted to get rid of this carpet because it's full of cat stain. There were bunnies that lived in here. Bunnies! Can you believe it? Bunnies! Little rabbit things. And lots of cats, generations of cats. And they all left their mark, some of them rather seriously. But in any event, this carpet's always smelled. And no matter what we did, no matter how many times Teresa vacuumed it, and Lord knows she vacuumed like a demon. If you've ever seen demons vacuum, she vacuumed like that. And this is the last piece. She's gotten rid of all of it, all over the whole floor, and then mopped this up after sweeping it up. But every time she takes off the carpet, we realize that there's an underlayment, and then under the underlayment is this wood. And at first we thought
under carpet.
Under carpet?
Yeah, just do that.
Okay, under carpet, laying there. And now you see the under the carpet that she is pulling the actual last piece of carpet away. Oh my God! That's been there for, as I said before, wait for it, nearly half a century.
Actually, the more fun thing is try and find the area without a stain.
Yeah, that's true. Look at all those stains. This is ridiculous. How many people spilled how much stuff? How many animals left their mark? I don't know. But underneath it is all of them, she says. Underneath it is the underlayment, and under that is this wood, and under the wood is this concrete. And when she takes off the concrete, it's hard. It takes off the wood. It's hard to do because it was bolted down, and there's all these bolt holes. And then my grandfather went through to get rid of buckles in it and nailed right into the cement with special nails. And so then, once all this is uncovered, she has to take her circular saw and saw them straight across like this until she gets it into 2 pieces for each 4x8. And then she can take each one, and with pry bars, okay, she's able to then get underneath this, using the hammer to get the pry bar under, raise it up a little bit, stick the hammer under it so that it holds it up, and then get her little paws under there, and sometimes with my help, and pry up the 4x4 half of each 4x8. And when that is done, it reveals it, and then she's got to go through with a Dremel, and take the Dremel and saw off each one of those bolts so that it's flush with the cement so nobody trips on it and nobody gets hurt. Just saw off the bolts and nobody gets hurt. Got it? Okay. Anyway, so I'll leave you now with this last airplane. Glorious airplane. And with Teresa taking off the rest of the carpet, the underlayment, then the wood, and all before it gets to be 90 degrees today so we can close up and use our air conditioner that she custom fitted to the wall, which will keep us nice and cool. That's it for this report. You'll never be back, will you? Oh, no, she says. Well, I know my audience, don't I? Bye for now.